Nebraska fans have like the most curiosity about is like what Bo was actually like, right? Because we see the exterior, we see the sideline rants, we see, you know, being surly with reporters and little scrums. We sometimes hear leaked audio tapes and whatever. Like, what was playing for Bo actually like? Because it seemed like the love he had in the locker room versus how people felt about him outside the locker room was maybe one of the biggest disparities I've ever seen. Like, it was kind of crazy.
It was huge, right? Like, I'll preface this with, like, I don't think Bo did himself favors. You know? Like, with
the way he acted.
Image, with the image, with the media. But Nebraska is very unique in the sense where you need a head man that can, like, wear the mask with the fans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that can be all-encompassing and has the energy to, like, pour into the fans, while also, like, being a strict, you know,
like a hardline football coach.
Yeah, like a old school hard football coach. Like, those guys don't really exist.
It's
anymore.
pretty rare.
Like, I'm trying to think of even any coach in history. I guess
I mean, like,
but like T.O. wasn't like.
It wasn't like a yeller.
It wasn't like a yeller, like a hard.
Like Belichick?
Belichick, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, kind of, but Belichick's.
Harbaugh kind of seems.
Yeah,
both the Harbaughs seem pretty old school.
A little bit. But Bo was like a no nonsense kind of guy. So like, if he, you know, when the media is saying stuff that he doesn't like, and like he's not the kind of guy that's going to shy away from that. Right?
Yeah.
Like these have you ever been to Youngstown, Ohio?
I have not. I don't plan to go.
Let me tell you, folks, these people don't mess around up there. I'm telling you right now.
It's a hardened type of human that comes out of Youngstown.
Yes. So I won't. I recognize like the
like how he came off.
Yeah, like like the appearances of it. However, like there was no one that was more in our backyard, like cared about his guys more.
Yeah.
Right? Like now, if you this might right, wrong, or indifferent, if you weren't bought into our program and a part of like our group, and we knew like it's easy to tell the guys that weren't. Yeah. I could see how you could feel very jaded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and that you're not cared for because, to put it simply, we didn't care about you. Like,
yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean. So
if you're not riding with us, we're not riding with you.
Why would we? Right?
Yeah.
Like at that point, we were so indoctrinated, I would say, like into the program, into what we were doing, into our mission, into our belief, that nothing else mattered. And that, I know that sounds crazy, but that's what it takes to be. Yeah,
like when you're like siloed off like that, like that's
what it takes to be a good football team. And we weren't even great. We were
very good,
darn good football team. You weren't going to roll your helmets out there and just beat us.
Yeah,
like, we were a good football team. We were tough. We played hard, and you know, did we lose big games? Absolutely. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like we were one of the, you know, Huskers all-time greats, but I think we played football the right way. And on top of that, we had dang good young men.
Yeah.
We got the kind of guys that come back.
We saw it with Team
later.
Jack last week, right?
Right. Got the kind of guys that come back 10, 15 years later to raise money for pediatric brain cancer in a state that they don't live in. So I'm very proud of that. But sorry, I digress.
No,
from
absolutely.
From what you're saying about Bo. Bo brought those kind of guys in.
Sure.
Right? That like we'll fist fight you.
And I think that's a testament to like kind of what we were talking about though, of like the two sides of Bo.
Yeah.
Right. Like obviously he wanted a certain caliber of human being.
Absolutely.
But he also came off like a raging psycho half the time. Like I don't know how else to put it. You know,
most of us. But if you look back at those teams, I'd say like 80% of his teams were exactly like him.
Really?
Right. Like because. I think a lot of people don't realize, like, I'm a little bit crazy. You know, like, I don't. I know that sounds ridiculous.
I think you're a different kind of crazy than Bo.
Like yes. But, like, you don't play football for that long.
If you're normal.
Like, if you're a normal person. You know what I mean?
You're like, no, I want to go get my head beat in some more. That seems fun.
You're not normal by any means. Crazy might not be the best description of it. But, yeah, like, I could see how it seems like he's a lunatic. One, he was incredibly passionate, and two, he just demanded excellence.
Yeah,
right? Like, and it's one thing to say you demand excellence, but to actually demand it in every aspect, is a whole different ballgame. So I respect Bo and I appreciate him. I love him to death. Some of his actions I don't think were the best.
So you also kind of get it though, right?
Yeah, like I completely understand like a Husker fan that is like, not my favorite, you know?
Well, when you have that kind of exterior persona, you have to win a lot.
You have to win.
Like a lot.
A lot.
Like Saban levels of winning to kind of.
Well, you can't lose back-to-back Big 12 championships and then get blown out in the 2012 Big 10 championship.
Yeah,
right.
Like it just can't happen.
Think how different the narrative, not only around Bo, but around Husker football is. Right?
If you even get one of those,
if one of them, but I mean, we had 09 and 10.
Yeah, I mean, you had Oklahoma in the bag. Right.
I mean, Texas
too.
I don't want to say we had, but like it's hard not to win a game when your defensive tackle is
just
dominating
just wrecking everything.
When your D tackle's playing the greatest game of football anybody's ever seen.
Yeah.
You know? So, shout out, 93. You're a monster. Yeah, so.
The narrative around.
Those, Oklahoma,
he gets more leeway too, right? Yeah. You're up
17-3 or something.
Yeah, 3 scores, I think, on Oklahoma at one point.
At halftime.
Right? So you've got, he gets way more leeway with his exterior behavior if he gets one of those, right? I do think it's. I call Nebraska one of those run for governor jobs. Like you almost have to be part politician to be the head. Well, you have to be the football coach part too, right? Yeah, but part of you has to be it's like Texas, Bama.
Blue Bloods,
Nebraska. Like some of these places, you have to be basically out there shaking hands, kissing babies as much as you are doing the football stuff.
But you're the highest paid.
Yeah,
you're the highest paid official in the entire state.
Yeah.
So I would say you are a politician.
Yeah, you are really. You're paid publicly. You're a public official.
Public official.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You may not have to win an election, but you do have to win the popularity contest.
Yes, you do. And to be honest, I think a lot of people don't realize you did win an election.
Yeah.
It might not have been a public one. But behind closed doors, you won an election.
For sure.
There's plenty of guys that don't get opportunities for reasons that are not because they
not
don't know
football
ball.
related, right? And that's honestly, I think that's the thing that is the hardest thing with Bo is I don't think he ever, and I obviously don't know him, but it seemed like he never got that was part of the job.
No, I genuinely think he did get that. That's part of the job.
He just didn't care.
He had no interest in it.
Yeah,
and I think it played into. I think it had a lot to do with him feeling like it doesn't matter, like it will never be enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what his whole thing with that recording was. Is wait till I leave.
Yeah.
See how this goes.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I never took that as a pompous
I'm so great. Whatever.
So great. Yeah. That's not the kind of guy Bo is. But he's also not the kind of guy that believes that he's not
lacks confidence.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
You can't in that job.
You can't. So I think his whole thing was. People don't understand the powers at play.
Yeah.
Right? How many moving parts and how difficult it is to get everybody on the same page to have a winning standard.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for us, we've found out in the past.
Yeah, we effed around and found out.
We found out the hard way.
Really, that's.
But, with that being said, I'm really, really excited about Coach Rule and where we're headed right now and the staff and the culture that we've got down there. But yeah, it was tough, and that stuff you can tell it doesn't come and go. You know what I mean? You got to find it, and then you got to hammer it home for generations. Because look at Alabama right now.
Yeah, if Kalen DeBoer doesn't make a college football playoff, they're going to fire him this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's a great football coach.
He's a great ball coach.
He's anybody in the country would be thrilled to have Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah.
And if they don't win 10 games and make the playoff, he's gonna get fired
for sure.
Which bums me out because
and what a tall task too.
Yeah, to follow Saban. What are you doing?
And in a conference that has completely changed.
Yeah.
Now everyone's getting paid and everyone has a lot of dollars.
Yeah, the playing field has leveled quite a bit
immediately.
Yeah.
It's
it's all above
months.
board now.
Yeah.
Oh shoot. Yeah. We don't have this crazy advantage.
I'm gonna retire.
I think I'm about done here.
Most Pete Carroll thing ever. Oh man.
I think we're cool.
What time is it? Yep.
I think it's about that time.